gonna read this one because I didn't print it out, and I don't like being a phone poet, as they call it, but I'm gonna read it. It's called Chicano Blood Transfusion, and I'll dedicate this one to Meliton because he's a true Chicano. Now, I grew up in East LA, come from family that's Central American. So where does Chicano come in? Well, I grew up with Chicanos. I grew up with black friends, and growing up, everybody thought you were either Mexican or obviously you were either black or white. But if you were Latino, you were Mexican. So, it kind of inherited and jumped into the Chicano, and so there it is. All right, bang! I got shot in the gut and now I need a Chicano blood transfusion. Quick, promise me that the blood is from a Chicano mother. Meliton is coming down the corridor and wants my hat for his collection, and I can only come up with 180 ways why Guanaco can't cross the border. Close the door, put a sheet over my body and tag my toe. My brown skin is hindered by the loss of blood. Lie to my daughter and tell her I'm on vacation, a long one. Continue reading her books at night for me, mother. Help, Minutemen are looking for me and La Migra has plans for me. My pen has been taken away along with my grandma's recipe of semita and chile rellenos. I need help. I need them to help me break through the concrete wall, mierda, stretching from Califas to Texas. I worry about my citizenship, permiso para jalar, needing a haircut on Sunday. I worry about people that drive small cars, con placas vencidas, con placas behind them. Stop. All right, I think they're gone. Thank you. And then I got a phone call from home, so I kind of messed up the whole thing. Where are you? It's not over yet. You have a long drive. Okay, this one's titled, I Came to South Texas. I came to South Texas leaving behind pigeons and a concrete jungle. I came to South Texas leaving behind colorful murals of La Virgencita de Guadalupe to decrepit abandoned negocios in a small town of San Benito. I came to South Texas away from bullets and death counts to the occasional floater in a resaca and a sheriff that gets a good night's sleep on most nights. I came to South Texas away from my crying mother, away from lowriders, away from views of mountains, away from paleteros with knives, away from cholas with almond-shaped eyes. But slowly what I left behind joined me, except I am now seeing birds in all colors and melodies, project houses of concrete moldy walls. The murals rush past me in speeding trains. La Virgencita showed herself on the back of a bald prisoner's head. East LA became San Bene. The hail of bullets traveled chingos of miles across the Rio Grande waters, washing up bodies of Central American and Mexican immigrants for the Vatos de Verde to identify. No lowriders around, just a parked Impala with expired tags. No mountains, just blue bonnets. I'm sure there's a shank somewhere in the wood frame raspa stand, y las rucas tienen ojos chinitos con Sharpie lined eyebrows también. My Nike shoes stayed by the LA River. Now I run in boots with scud marks towards a wall that says the USA is now closed. Okay. I was given a book, I think he lent me the book, I don't know. I'm gonna say he gave it to me, I'm not giving it back. It's a book that gives you different ways of writing poetry, different styles to practice. I've always been one of those that just said, I'm gonna write what I write and that's it. I'm not gonna try to rhyme with my poetry because that's just not the way I am, but now I figure that it's a challenge to write in different styles. I think it helps, just play with words and stuff like that. And this one that I wrote, it's called a pantun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know the history behind a pantun poem, but in the first stanza, the second and fourth, whatever thing, the second and third line becomes the first and third in the one that follows it, and so forth. So there's a lot of, intertwining of words and sentences and things that go with it, right? Yeah. You're smart, you go to
That's a fair
professor, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that. Look it up, Google it. And it's called Love in the Time of. Love in the time of yawning, growing, dying. yawning to swallow the humidity, dying to understand the simplicity. To swallow the humidity, rocks turn to sand due to grief. To understand the simplicity, the sea sends its tide quietly. Rocks turn to sand due to grief, due to the wailing mother. The sea sends its tide quietly to mute out the pain. Due to the wailing mother, love sits alone in a corner to mute out the pain of lonely hearts' despair. Love sits alone in a corner, crying, of lonely hearts' despair, wishing, crying to the crowded heavens, wishing for love. I'll read one more. It's titled "The House That Is Not a Home," and I've read this before. And it's, I don't know if you've ever lived somewhere where you just don't feel like you belong there. You don't feel like it's your home. You just go in and out of it because it's a place where you sleep and do all that other good stuff. But this is a place that I used to live at and just wasn't home for me. I will not miss these walls. The paint never really sunk in. It's never been perfect to write in this room. My poems have survived in this home barely. This home is not even blue enough to be sad. Though blue is cool, this home is a color that sits in the corner and watches rainbows like I watch a falling star, wanting to be part of it but not quite enough to shine. This home can keep all the bickering, fighting, screaming, and crying. I will leave my old shoes here and a ton of pens with no ink, dried up and buried in a corner somewhere. I don't even kill the bugs that find their way through the cracks. I make the holes bigger and shove food in them. I will not miss these walls. I've tried talking to them, but each time they answered back, I walked off. The paint is marked with little crayon streaks of a little girl with a Basque smile and a California tan. The dog refuses to urinate in here. It's not worth its piss. Let it get dry and let the tile crack, just as the ceiling has been for years. She used to live here, the other woman. She used to hide her sexuality under cold, thin sheets, hoping maybe he may come home to her. Now that it's my turn to go, I hope the second I turn the key for the last time, that even the ghost that caressed my neck jumps in the car. I won't even let it live in misery in this home by the resaca, where spider webs were letters written to me in the blood of flying critters with love stories folded behind their wings.
Yeah.